Chair. Man, did you feel that? That, right there at the bottom end of your back, the base of your spine, the line between your waist and your behind. That's where the twang will hit you. Do some things to you your body ain't necessarily used to. Some homegrown, all natural, completely organic, 100% pure. No additives, no preservatives. Feel good, twang. A smooth, go down easy mix of funk, blues, jazz, soul, filled R&B to keep you grooving on the street and in the crib, caught up in traffic or slaving at the gig, 'cause you deserve that.
Flesh, integument, skin, epidermis, flesh. At conception is the conception of impressions that society is leaving impressions, marks of aggression, remarks of oppression, directing deception with the contention of a inferior complexion, a predilection to malign melanin, assigned confinements, judgments to integument, and inference of indifference to innocence, to intelligence, to more relevance, abilities, prevalence. It's just about appearance. Epidermis is the determinant as severance becomes permanent. This is society's essence of skin's presence. Flesh, you have taken us to the threshold of strangle, fixate on mangled skin, stretched noose necks, burning crosses, clan marches, dangled liberty, slavery by enslaved minds which still chain black men, skinned. James Byrd Jr., we will not forget you. Skin of segregation, skin of prejudice, skin of former slave owners, skin of plantation owner motherfuckers. I am asking your skin, questioning your within, discontent with your divisiveness, devise, insistent dissidence, divorce from this disguise of your skin. I now comprise, uncompromised, defy your manifested malignancy of identity, inherited disunity, condemned. I am unmasking your skin, outlasting your flesh. Of beautiful skin tones, sensuality evoked, soaking in the tranquility of fingertips, lightly seeking serenity, savoring integrity of skin softness, curves, caress, bends of silky sand, sends honey-dipped imagery, indulging in your essence eloquently, indiscriminately, assertively, inserting myself inside your femininity firmly, so skin sensed, seamless, seemingly seeing Siamese symmetry, a scenery, a symbiotic supremacy, this covenant of rhythmic sustenance, fluidity, as we define urgency as this once contemplation of temptation, now replaced by an affirmation of color, celebration, flesh, flush. Our destination is climax of external artifact as our souls become whole. Behold one another wholesome, holding hopes of love and unity as we devote this moment to all skins closeness, and I am not letting go.
I know this dude, right? There's this dude that I know. And I swear to God, I do swear that this dude, he's got it all figured out. I mean, he's got his life just right. He's come to this point. See, he's come to this conclusion. He's at this space where he knows. He knows that he has a problem, and because he has this particular affliction, he knows what he has to do. See, my man, John, every time John sees a woman that he feel like he like, and he might want to get with, like a nitwit, he walks up and he pulls out his wallet. And he asks real simple questions like, where you want to go? When you want to go there? And which island was that you said you liked? See, because John has got it right. See, John already know that he don't look that goddamn good, and plus, he was not blessed with that gift of gab. See, John ain't got no game. But John figured out how to maintain. He was like, shit, I'll go out and I'll get myself the great equalizer. It's called a good job. So every time John finds a woman that he likes, John has come to the conclusion it is best for him to pay. But at least the John is honest. I got $5. He's honest. $5. He knows what he wants. Can I get a little head? And he's willing to pay $5 for the woman or women that we've called whore, fulfilling his pleasures like candy at the store, selling her body for sale to fulfill his worldly pleasures. But at least the John is honest, because whatever events or circumstance that led him to this stance, when he feels the need to drop his pants and be blown, he pays. Not for movies, not for dinners, not for plays, but he pays because he knows that a visitor his homes will curl his toes without the woes of a so-called relationship. He's honest. No pretense, no pretension, no altered vision between the John and the hoe. Because they know. One's the customer, the other's the product. So they don't get stuck lying. See, he knows she lying when she be like, baby, you the best I never had. And she know he lying when he be like, yeah, I love you. See, their lies are actually truths, because he paid for his particular brand of truth at the door. The moment that he paid for this woman that we call a whore. And as for the whore, well, if you check the history, if you go all the way back to her beginning, her mama. Her mama didn't tell her nothing better. Her mama never said, look, check it out. You can love dude if you want to, just because you want to. Mama never said those words. Mama always said, don't fuck with that nigga if he can't give you shit. And I swear it seems like it's a psychosis, because there's a neurosis of the brain, because that shit in another strain appeared in her sister. See, her sister would be like, well, where'd you say he worked at? And what kind of car does he drive? And I swear to God, you could find that same shit in her friends, because they'll be like, where'd you say y'all go? To the movies or to a show? Because there's a difference, you know? See, I'm trying to figure out what she should have asked for, but God knows she ain't asked for this. This trick that she turns as the fire in her soul burns. It's burning. This fire, this desire, it's burning her soul. They called her hoe just because of what she got paid for. Using her sex, she supposedly wrecks homes, families, lives. Listen to the sad cries of wives who bemoan and dismiss this woman in fits just because she'll take his dick in her lips. But she ain't asked for this. See, society, they told her she had no skills. Yet she has 3 mouths to fill. She has 3 babies, daddies, maybe. She didn't ask to be categorized in people's eyes as a hoe. Her butt and back sold from countless beatings, so she keeps fleeing and retreating. Fleeing and retreating. Fleeing and retreating into her own shell, her own personal hell. But hell hath no fury, so this woman don't scorn, just mourn, then mend the mind, stuck in time, unable to break and or be free. Maybe, just maybe, she just likes to have sex. And in order to keep it real for you, she collects a fee. Would you take it? Were it free? That's called a relationship chat. Well, I just
want to say that chivalry is not dead. That's what I'm on this month. Chivalry is not dead. Even though there are people out there trying to kill chivalry, I hate going to anywhere. You could be at the donut shop, dude. Oh, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Let me give you my number. No, that's not the way it's supposed to go. Right. I am not calling you. I don't care how fine you is. I am a lady.
That's right.
Take my number, take a chance. Right. And I'm not an angry black girl. I'm just preaching that, you know, chivalry, it will not die. So, this is a poem of this girl named Little Kim. She's probably littler than me. And, you know, I think she's one of those people that's trying to kill chivalry in a big way. So this poem is called Dreams of Fucking and R&B. And it goes a little something like this. Dreams, dreams of fucking and R&B. She screams that bullshit that makes the sick sicker. Target market be niggas and mo niggas with the notion the hoes be hosting mo at toasting pussy for sale potions. The ill mama ocean is coasting down 39th Street. But the heat won't arrest her, they might molest her. I protest her queen bee status. I have this dream of beating that bitch with a bat as I scream, stop it! Stop that doo-doo voodoo you do, girl. Stop lying, stop trying to destroy respect. Your neck's been snapped, you've been tapped too many times, and that ain't nothing to rhyme. Free your mind, girl. Greasy, easy ass should not equate cash. So I have to bash you, I have to ask you to hash to a therapist. Get off the 10 list, miss. You really down, but black needs an uprising. While you spread lies in the form of thighs, you deprives the black masses. You spreading a coochie cancer to my peeps. You're weak, whack, worn, probably torn from too much dick. But you won't report that. You won't report corroded cat, where semen's build and getting ill becomes a part of your job. Your coochie throbs. Black humanity robbed. As more and more trains go by, you lay with open thighs singing dreams, dreams of fucking and R&B.
Yeah. Dear Mr. Maybar, that's me. On behalf of the Amateur Night Committee, congratulations, you're on your way to New York City to let the world see your talent. But there's a few things you need to know about your big chance to perform on this showtime at the Apollo. We ain't flying your black ass nowhere. Hell no, we don't pay. Hotels sweep my ass. You better find somewhere to stay. Yeah, I got a limousine, but it wasn't black or white. You just try to catch a taxi in New York on Friday night. Now, they gave me 2 weeks to think about it. But I could always not come because there are plenty of people they send out there just to look dumb. My dressing room was a closet next to this bathroom on the second floor. Girl, I had to put a curtain closed on the other side because they ain't even got a door. I'll have it. It started at 12 in the afternoon, right? CP time, 10:30 Friday night. This teenage audience came in cold, drunk, high, and ready to fight. But I really wasn't scared about what that crowd might do. I mean, think of Lauryn Hill, Jackie Wilson, just to name a few. I talked my whole family into coming to New York. I stayed at Cousin Tiffany's, and it was backstage all alone. I reached my epiphany. After 2 years of sending in tapes, I'm for real. Here I am, my clothes fit, and I'm about to come face to face with the Apollo. Shit. Y'all ready for your next act? Say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Y'all ready for your next act? Say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on, Paul, stay focused now. They calling for you soon. Coming to the stage, it's Paul Maboon. That's not my name, man. Come on, dog. Hey, fool, you better go back and rub that log. The ladies kind of diggy. They got their hormones all shook. Yeah, but he better sing as good as he look. You taking classes for graduate school? Shit, you must have sat up in the front. Hey, what the brothers think about him getting his masters? Fuck that punk! I was scared as hell. What you gonna do for us, man? What you gonna do for us, man? I'm gonna recite sing a gospel song. A gospel song. A gospel song. As long as I can. Oh yes, Jesus loves me. Come on, y'all. Oh yes, he do. Come on, y'all. Oh yes, Jesus loves me. For the Bible tells me. Ooh. All right, I need all the brothers to move. I need all the brothers to move. And I need all the sisters to cheer. It's showtime at the Apollo. All the brothers keep moving. Y'all didn't even give me a chance. And then y'all got personal. With them tight ass pants. I was nervous, my mouth was dry, but sister, it's hard to be strong when the Sandman girl, he over there putting his shoes on. And the whole world is not funny. And the whole world is gonna see me look like a fool. Am I wearing tight pants? Come on, Paul, be cool. What the hell was I thinking? Why am I here? Do the ladies run this motherfucker? Yeah. The ladies better cheer. Thank you, Apollo. Bye. And I'll never do that shit again. But every woman in that building that night was my friend. I lost to a 13-year-old white girl and a 62-year-old black man. Kiki put her hand over my head and I still don't understand. If they ever say Apollo auditions are coming to the Spoken Word Cafe soon, if you want to know what it's really like, come talk to me. Paul Maboon.
All right, one more piece. I got one piece.
Cut loose, man.
I'm gonna cut loose. It's for you.
Alright.
Not for you. It's for you. I'm a verbal. We into the passive aggressive. That aggressive shit, blasted out of my sleep 6 o'clock in the morning. Some maniac outside leaning on his car horn. Gotta go outside and teach him the proper etiquette. Neighborhood bad enough, can't let it get worse than it already is. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, bro.
I need my sleep. That's the only time on this planet that I ever get any peace. I tried that college thing on some American dream tip, but yet I still live on the same street that I grew up on. Them same streets that I grew tough on. My mother hoped that I would surpass at least to the middle class, but yet I'm still stuck on that same mentality. And all them years of college ain't even challenged me. But when I graduated, life was right there to put a degree in my hands and a foot on my chest, and here I am dressed in my pajamas, no slippers, about to run outside and rip the backbone out this fool. Ain't got nothing to show for all those years of school, but bad credit. I'm the only one in here, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. And even worse, decisions. And I live in a neighborhood where people buy food on credit. So they finance what they don't just take, and they're making payments on food that they already ate. And when they see me on the street, they're looking at me like they're about to break, and I'm back to nothing. And they're looking at me like they're about to break. And I snatch open this door, and I see my best friend. And he's sitting in a minivan with 4 of those child car seats. And he's looking at me with the gun in his hand. And it's like I can hear his heartbeat. And with his other hand, he take a swig of liquor from a bottle of scotch, pops the door locks like, get in, nigga. Moves the pictures of his children off the car seat with the gun, throws them in the glove box, and it's like everything stopped. And we drive, and we drive, and we drive till we get to the part of town where it seems like the American dream is still alive. And in my mind, I'm playing Nina Simone as I'm looking out the window on the passenger side. And it's like somebody scraping their fingernails along my bones as I feel his grown man cry. And I wonder if he knows that tens of millions of people in this country are depressed, but using alcohol and drugs to remain in denial. I wonder if he knows that there's a suicidal tendency hide behind almost every smile, because no matter how many times they go back to school or how many jobs they work simultaneously, they can never seem to permanently change their lifestyle. But somehow they convince themselves that it'll be different for their children. And eventually they'll realize that's a fantasy, but they need something to believe in until then. And him, just wanted to be a father to his children. But sometimes, y'all, after all the love is gone, children become pawns in a relationship. And his relationship with his children is the vehicle that his ex-wife chooses to take out her frustrations with. And if he's just one day late on the child support, she reports it to the courts. And what's driving him crazy is yesterday, he just got laid off. Now, 30 days ago, her and the kids just moved in with a new man who drives a Range Rover and plays golf. And that's a year ago from the day that my best friend had to go to jail for making her last boyfriend stop telling the children that their father was soft. And right now, he feels like everything's lost. That's why I'm glad he came to me to give me this opportunity to put a few thoughts across. And you see, all day and all night, we talk. And I tell him, a man is judged by what's in his soul and what's in his heart, and not just by what's in his pockets. I tell him, me and him are friends through thick and thin, and if he's in pain, we need to put our brains, time, and money together to stop it. I tell him that the fact we don't have a lot of money is a problem, then rather than getting fed up, what we need to do is wake up and like Moses and Jacob, whenever we get together, just find new ways to profit. Because in my eyes, our friendship is how we live and how we die. And don't you ever believe that even for a second that I would ever let you slide. Now for what I'm about to say, I want you to listen with all your pride and sexuality aside, because as God is my guide, like my own self, I love you. Thank you.
I'm gonna do a joint by one of my favorite artists. Y'all feel this? When I get to the hook, y'all can sing it if y'all want to. Now I know this might seem strange, but let me know if I'm out of order or step into you this way. See, I've been watching you for a while. I just gotta let you know that I'm really feeling your style. See, I had to know your name and leave you with my number, and I hope that you would call me someday. If you want, you can leave me else too. If you don't, then I ain't mad at you. We can still be cool, 'cause sometimes I'm pressure just means something about you. You ain't even really gotta be my girlfriend. I just wanna know your name, and maybe sometime we can hook up, hang out, just chill. Damn, I'm surprised that you called. Talk away, you walk away. I thought I wasn't gonna see you no more. Since you didn't wanna give me your hand, I thought that you was digging that wasn't digging me. But anyway, won't you do it tonight? I'll probably be with my peeps. If it's cool with you, maybe we'll swing by and you can just chill, or you can chill with me. Long as you're comfortable and you feel secure when you're with me. I'm not trying to pressure you, just can't stop thinking about you. You ain't even gotta be my friend. I just wanna know your name, and maybe sometime we can hook up, hang out, just chill. I'm not trying to pressure you, just can't stop thinking about you.
won't rewind for a nigga. I figure it should. Shit, I've been good. But she keep on doing her thing, not even missing a step. I'm sorry, and I don't even really go there most of the time, but she is one stubborn ass bitch. Never did like her ass, no way. Time. Who the fuck she thinks she is? I look at it like, yo, who the fuck you think you are? But she don't even really say shit. She just smile, put her hands on her hips, and just smile. I wanna smack her dumb ass, but I don't hit women, see? So I just stare at her real hard and point my finger at her real hard, stare at her real hard, and I say, yeah, I'ma remember your ass. Time. I remember your ass. Hell yeah, time. I remember that time you stood there and let them niggas beat my head in for what seemed like hours. Brothers who didn't even know that I was their brother. Fuck a gangbang thing. My shit wasn't even cocked neither to the right or the left. Matter of fact, I don't even think I was wearing a damn hat that day. Yeah, I remember that time. You remember that time? I remember the time when all I wanted to do was get up with old sweet so-and-so. Yeah, we was in the 6th grade, but you couldn't tell me I didn't love her. Puppy love they called it. But even that shit seemed real to the damn puppy. You see, it wasn't that I was ugly, but even after writing that so-called pussy poetry till the AM, when I gave it to her, she came back with some old nice poem. And dropped me when she said I might have had a chance if I was just a bit more light-skinned. Yeah. I remember that time. You remember that time? Cause I remember that time when I was sitting there, right there in that room with my moms. My friend, my girl, my moms. I hated hospitals, but it was like it was a second damn home. You could have told me I wasn't going to see her tomorrow, Tom. You could have told me that I wasn't going to see her no more. Last time I was going to see her, you could have told me, nigga. A phone call made me alert. One, it would have been nice, motherfucker. Or just maybe you're stingy. Ass could have gave a little more yourself. Tom, one more hug, one more kiss. You ain't even let us say goodbye, Tom. What the hell, Tom? You so selfish, Tom. So controlling, Tom. Why you always gotta have it your way, Tom? Damn, bitch, why don't you look at me when I'm talking to you, Tom? Damn, why don't you listen when I'm speaking? Tom, hold on, Tom, hold on. Stop walking for a minute, Tom. Stop, Tom, damn, stop, Tom. Damn, girl, I thought we was cool, Tom. Listen, Tom, damn, bitch, can you just stand still for a motherfucking minute? She keep on going. She turned at me, she gave me that same stuck-up ass smile. She looked at me, and she say, nigga, I don't stop for no man. And that's the you, damn,
a piece that my friend titled because it was untitled. She titled, what did you title it? Love in the Days of Our Lives. Yeah. So, here it goes. "7 days, 168 hours, 10,080 minutes, 604,800 seconds is all that it takes to change your life forever. Every day that you put yourself at risk, all in the name of love. Every hour that you contemplate the indiscretions of your homie lover friend. Every minute that your deoxyribose nucleic acid exchanges with another. Every second that you pant, and breathe undeniable pleasures as you throw your life away. For a bag of bones who possesses the true qualities of an amoeba floating in shallow waters. Translated, for someone who is simply not worth it. For someone who uses the L word, then blows you off, which contradicts everything they appear to represent. Honesty, respect. Who has put your life at risk, so you suspect. With that bitch from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then you really late on Sunday? Ain't that some shit? But all in the name of love, or is it lust, that you allow the largest skin cell known to man, exploding with testosterone, to overtake your every rational thought? And you think, because you've narrowed it down to one piece of sweet meat, that he's cut back on his treats? Come on, man. But of course he'll look you in your eyes and blatantly lie and say, I am not sleeping with anyone else. So you fight back the urge to spit, so you grit your teeth and simply say, what affects you, affects me. But while you slept, she said, say it one more time, what affects you, affects me. But while you slept with one that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, he a definite one, possible three, and because you don't bitch and moan, they think that you don't see. That 3 times 3 times 3 is what it all turns out to be when you mix bodies and chemistries, hence AIDS and the mother virus HIV. You hear what I say? And the mother virus HIV. And I dedicate this to the brothers because your sisters are now the fastest spreading care of this disease, you see? This shit here don't discriminate. And your average grows as you increase your contact rate. And sisters, I empathize with the dilemma of being damn dumb when that brother touches you with his hands, his lips, and you spread eagle and succumb. However, we have a responsibility to educate ourselves on the facts, and in order to keep our men, children, and families intact, we must make that brother pull back without a rubber strap. Discrimination goes both ways. You can get married and still contract AIDS. So get tested every 6 months. You've seen the slogan, living with HIV. My message is for my brothers, my sisters, all of you, but most importantly, it is for me. Peace.
You've got me slipping into ecstasy when you're next to me. My body's chemistry's reading overheat. Just don't know what comes over me. It's like my heart, it skips the beat. See, you keep throwing off my rhythm. This energy that you're giving me got a sister straight tweaking. Y'all, I'm tweaking like Bobby Brown and Ja Rule's video, like P. Diddy over J-Lo. See, I'm seeking late night meetings, even though we don't be freaking. Just wanna be in your dwelling. And if it's wolf tickets you selling, I'm buying. I ain't lying, I'm just trying. I'm trying to understand why when you touch my hand, I feel it in my spine. And when you touch my lips, I feel it in my mind. See if the saying is true and love is really blind. You can call me Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles. See, your love to me so good I have to pause. It takes my breath away, and yeah, it's safe to say I'm thirsty now, forget it, dehydrated. See, your love got me high like some bud, I'm partly sedated. I debated all my feelings and my spirit with my hormones, and the verdict's just coming in like Monica's new song. I'm so gone, cause it's been too long since I met a brother like you. And ooh, when you do that thing that you do, like how you light up my face when you look in my eyes, you lick your lips, I grab a grip on how I'm feeling inside you, feeling me right. See, you do something to me without doing nothing at all. And if your love was some alcohol, I need a Tylenol from this hangover I get every time that we kiss. See, I often reminisce that day you came over and over and over and over to me. See, you didn't come with no lines, we connected through rhymes. And though we just met through poetry, you've been knowing me for quite some time. Never thought I'd find my soulmate, but now that I found you, I can't wait to know you in every dimension. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and oh, did I forget to mention physically? See, I want our bodies to be so intertwined that we move with one rhythm. wanna know every part of your anatomy like that of my own. What spots I can touch to make you moan and moan and moan. See, I could go on and on and on, but like wife left Joan, someone please call 911. 'Cause I just been shot at Cupid, and if loving you is stupid, you can call me illiterate. And if that was game that you just spit, oops, I just swallowed it whole. See you taking your love and stroking my soul, got me in control like Janet. Your love and I got to have it, your touch and I got to feel it. Anthrax couldn't kill it. This feeling that I'm feeling, see, I want you and me to be like Ebony and Ivory, like Edith and Archie, like Lucy and Ricky Hale, like Ken and Barbie. See, I want us to be like Ike and T. Well, no, I mean Bobby and Whit. Well, no, nigga, if you hear me, well, never mind all that. It's gotta be where you at. See, if loving you ain't right, I'ma have to make a left. You see, as I continue to slip into your ecstasy.
Let's put your hands together. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Yeah. My poem is starting new. I want to read like the bird flew. He knew what to do. He could get down with the cool sound. Get down. Get down.
Mike has a mind of its own. They get like that sometimes. Chicago. Chicago is Sunday cheese grits, garnished with pepper and butter trails. It's magic. Scrambled eggs, mayonnaise sandwiches, apple butter biscuits, and a jelly glass full of tang. Chicago is knowing neighbors who know you, plus the things your children do, like the one-eyed spooky lady at the end of the block wearing a frock of flamingo pink, keeping her eye on things. Diddy Riches was the rainmaker if we were having too much fun or got too close to her late husband's LTD. She was just mad. She was just mad because we were fresh bones and fine bodies with no concept of late rent, with no concept of time spent arguing with the janitor, with no time to genuflect over yellow photos taken with flash powder cameras. Chicago. is hot side streets. Hot side streets with aluminum can rings pressed deep into melting black asphalt. Yellow lines losing their yellow, silently acquiescing to a steady stream of Eldorados and 442s. Chicago is green dumpsters. Green dumpsters, oxidized dumpsters of discarded Huggies and insulin needles. Funky emerald sentinels standing guard outside brown tenements. Brown tenements housing furry brown tenants. Brown tenements housing furious brown tenants. Spending good money on glue traps and decon and setting off elaborate smoke bombs and watching with a hypnotic mix of excitement and disgust as rats and roaches come out with their hands up. Pesky POWs who shall never again see their families faint on the kitchen floor, surrender to a higher power like a church-going auntie. Chicago is a cream-colored no-wax floor, camouflaged with raid and roach eggs, and warped wooden porches, and winding alleys, and snake alleys that swallow men whole, snake alleys that swallow men with holes, men with shadowy souls called winos, you know, winos. Bragging about how they are cousins of Jesus and how they pitch pennies with him in front of the last black quickie mart. Chicago is the gospel according to Donnell and winos with razor bumps, bragging about the tepid accomplishments of grown children whom they never knew. Whom they never knew of, yet bragged on as though philosophizing or proselytizing, when truth be told they just jiving and sidewinding, telling overripe lies and riding night trains up and down winding snake alleys, shedding the decayed skin of ugly tomorrows and sunning themselves against flat bony rocks, marking the perimeters of green tomato gardens. Chicago is the link. The lingering link in a chain 3,000 years long. The last link in a chain looping, binding. Chicago is unpaved alleys winding. Chicago is hungry black souls winding. Chicago is finding the last food stamp at the bottom of a contact paper kitchen drawer. Chicago is sliding up next to hot brown mamas. Nappy-headed hot brown mamas modeling on L platforms and park benches. Chicago is sliding up next to parking lot hot brown mamas and telling lies about the last book you never read while surreptitiously surveying the contoured sea of bouncing brown buttocks. Yeah. Chicago is parting a sea of Jehovah's Witnesses to jockey for position with hot brown mamas wearing soft summer silk and rolling their tender, sweet, sticky tongues across the glistening tops of blueberry bomb pops, is listening and talking stuff to hot brown mamas about someone else's cash station receipts. Saying how your daddy's car is really your car and praying that the number she gave you is not the Brown's chicken. Chicago is being black and hip to brown hips, strolling through the crushed velvet corridors of your dreams. Brown sugar hips teasing you like UFOs, unbelievably fine objects, dipping in and out of silver clouds, making you go up like the rent. Chicago is being bent out of shape by hot brown mamas with high heels and high standards, and black children who know due south, and black children who worship streetlights as warning signals, black children dancing to Scott Joplin on the Tasty Freeze truck, tasting raindrops on their tongues and dreaming of cereal presents and secret money and how they're going to buy mama this and that when they hit the number. Chicago is a Sunday bath, a 9 o'clock bath to bathe off lightning bugs and rest. Going to sleep in anticipation of seeing a 5th grade teacher, sometimes called mama. Iowa tests and number 2 pencils. Raspberry glacier and pinky bets. Monkey bars and Chico sticks and innocuous giggles in between choruses of old Mary Mac, Mac, Mac. Is being Chicago, is being Chicago, is being all dressed in black, black, black. Bittersweet memories, remember. Thank you.
There we go. Ghetto superstar, that is what you are. Calling from afar, reaching for the stars. Ghetto superstar. See, she's a superstar in the making. Lights flashing, body shaking. No sweat, cause it's just an illusion. engulfed in confusion about why I'm using my body to make my ends meet. And it ain't easy working 8 hours straight on your feet. I'm faking my smile and lying all the while through my teeth about wanting to keep him, love him, and never leave him. And for $40, I'll be your everything, son. See, your dreams will be but an arm's length away, and you can touch my body as it begins to sway, and you think you're special. But I do this every day. And to me, you are just anonymous. Another nigga out here trying to bust and for whatever reason feels like he has to pay. But I'm paying my entire soul. My self-respect, and the other girls don't even want me to stay. Because to them, I'm just that new bitch. A new itch they got to scratch, a new stride they got to match, but I glide across that stage like it's a runway in Milan. But how long will it be before I'm no longer happy to see John Doe standing at the end of the stage with a tip? Because now I'm looking to see how much he's holding, and I'm wondering, is it worth my effort to dip down and roll my hip back? Now I wonder what I got to do to make this nigga up another dollar.
Come on.
Remembering how the voices in my head used to holler, ghetto superstar, that is what you are, calling from afar, reaching for the stars, ghetto superstar. See, he's a superstar in the making. And he won't hesitate when it comes to taking my life or the life of any other, because he's got a rep to protect and he's never slacking when it comes to respect, because he is running the block. And there's always some unknown trying to knock you off top, run up and blast your spot, so give him 3 feet and inches to go and do not fucking pass go, or $200 to get you guys. See, it's a damn shame that he's so heavy in the dope game, all his baby's mama strung out on cocaine, but he makes it plain, any of my shit comes up missing, you'll be found slain. Until that fateful trip down south, running work no doubt, where some nigga with 3 golds in his mouth answered the question, does it look like rain? By raining a 4-5 slug down to his dome and through his brain. And when them people come and ask what happened, Dirty South said, I don't know, man. But then nobody ever really knows what happens to those who constantly remain ghetto superstars. That is what they are, calling from afar, reaching for the stars. They're ghetto superstars. See, she's a superstar in the making. This just in, breaking news. Guess who's never again going to be the same, and who's never again going to feel the sunshine after the rain, and whose pain will cut deeper than the razor blade he held to her neck. And who's going to forever now have issues with self-respect. Because she's been robbed of her most precious gift. Unwrapped and tattered, her body has been stripped, but not more than her ego, which we know will probably take decades to rebuild. She's lying in a puddle of blood, semen, and guilt. The blooming flower that she could have been now begins to wilt, all because he couldn't take no for an answer. And for years she'll ask herself if it's her fault because of the passion they built before she realized it had gone too far. Didn't want to lose her virginity in the backseat of his car. Look at where we are. Look at where we are. When we continue to allow these streets to mar and paler versions of us to feather and tar. This self-hate's got to stop, y'all. I'm raising the bar. And if we don't wake up now, we'll only see from afar what once in the mirror were the faces of stars. Ghetto superstars. I can't believe that we're still living. Oh, in this crazy, crazy world that I'm still living. With all the problems of the day, how can we go on? So tired of hearing people say, how can we go
amongst urban decay. Through court cases and casual rape. Through used syringes, the lost continually binges on self-loathing and designer clothing. I fight to find God. Amongst self-inflicted hate, like Intozaki Shange, my universe is 6 blocks with crack rocks and blows. Feels like a tunnel closing. Father, please rock my soul. This lack of revelation breeds impatience. I'm fighting habitually with my natural man dying physically with perversions of sexuality in my community. Continue complacency in the face of HIV. Black bodies overtaken by obesity and diabetes. Black homes steady missing the presence of a father figure. We still thinking we niggas. Glorified field hands with our fingers on the triggers, held to the post in the temple of our own freedom. They crucified our leaders, now we think we don't need them. I fight to find God to understand the tragedy of Girl X, Ryan Harris, and James Byrd. Help me learn the words to comfort the family of the child who got shot down on Resurrection Sunday. I've been fighting, y'all. I've been fighting, inviting, inciting a solution. Then suddenly I feel a quiet revolution produced on melodies telling me to come ye, disconsolate, wherever ye languish, and that's not heal. And I feel a peace that supersedes articulation, not just to heal my hood, but the entire nation. I hear the whisper of the comforter. So glad I'm more than a conqueror, because if I shouted in a megadome through a microphone about his goodness, it wouldn't be loud enough. And if I cloned myself 1 billion times 10 to praise him, it wouldn't be crowd enough. I finally got a breakthrough, can hold my head up when I don't want to. Then I finally understood. To find God, all I need to know is that all things work for the good. Come on, right. Teach your children wisdom. Lift your hearts to God. I need you to listen, people, listen.